For a lot of people, especially in a country like the UAE, where most of the people are so used to getting things brand new, there's still that little negativity attached to taking secondhand things. You know, some people think that secondhand is not good enough. There are people who think that secondhand is only for charity cases. And then, of course, there are other people who just simply don't want to take other people's hand-me-downs. But there's one lady who's trying to change the way we view secondhand by literally transforming one man's garbage into another man's treasure. Very special lady right now. I was so excited when I met her on Facebook because I'm so inspired about what she does. She is the founder and artist at When Shabby Meets Chic. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Muby Astruc.
Yes.
I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Perfect. You pronounced it perfectly. Hello, hi everybody. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for agreeing to this interview, Muby. I think you have so much to teach and to share with our viewers out there. And yeah, let's start with your business. Tell us about When Shabby Meets Chic.
Okay, so When Shabby Meets Chic started a few years ago as a way to help people understand the concept of transformation. Today I am a retailer and I stock paint, Frenchy, Klingon brushes, all of it, but I didn't start there. I started as someone that was showing people how to take things that exist in their homes, in their lives, and transform them into other things, to take, tabletops, and if the table's broken, don't throw it to landfill because it's
exactly
so transform that into a tray or
into
a chalkboard,
into something chic.
Take a bookcase that you bought it secondhand for, you got it from like a big box commercial store, and it's 10 years old, it's chipped, it's cracked. You're gonna throw it away because it's so bad, no one's gonna buy it. But throw it away, transform it. If your house is going from minimalistic to bohemian, use what you've got. What we don't use goes into landfill, and what goes into landfill ultimately comes back to haunt us.
I know. Haunt is the key word there. And I think that's a very inspiring message. What you're trying to do here is that you're telling people, don't throw your old things away, or don't throw secondhand away. There's life in there. You just have to transform it.
Exactly. So I started there. I started with transforming my pieces, my friends' furniture, and it just went, as people asked me to take the next step, I would take the next step until one day it went from something that I care about passionately to something that I do as my livelihood and care about passionately as well. And it, so it
Yeah.
grew.
Have you always wanted to do this? Was this something that you planned? I mean, I know that you were a journalist before, right? So
Yeah.
how do you go from journalist to an artist doing all these beautiful things?
I was a journalist for 27 years, and then I took a gap for a few years, and I had my children. And I think it's not that different, because as a journalist, I was telling people stories, and I had the pen as my tool. But and today, as an artist, I'm still telling the stories of these pieces of furniture that have had other lives and other eras and homes that they've lived in.
Yeah.
And the brush is my tool, but my art remains the same. I'm still a storyteller. I'm still an artist, just with a different medium.
Were you always an artist? I mean, were you like this growing up?
You're born who you're born to be. You always have
I like that.
It
You
doesn't
are
matter.
born who you are born to be, right? That's
Yeah, it doesn't matter what people
That's
do.
a very nice
I was
quote,
told
yeah.
in high school that I couldn't draw a circle. I could never be an artist.
yeah, you were
know?
telling us that earlier.
It doesn't matter what people tell you.
Yeah.
If you feel who you are, you know who you are.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that.
So you're supplying materials for people who want to transform their old furniture or secondhand furniture into something, into something fabulous.
Yes.
Tell us what they can find in your store.
Right. So today what I do is I started like a little girl in a candy shop. When I decided, right, this is going to turn into a business, I went online and I looked up all these sustainable brands that really cared about the environment, that cared about the people that use them, the health and the lives of them. And so I zoomed in on a few companies, and then I settled on the ones that I wanted.
Yeah.
So for example, I picked Gver Chic, which is a British brand despite its name. And it's very, it's EU certified, it's environmentally friendly, it's recycled materials, they have no chemicals, they have no VOCs. Babies, you can use it with babies. Pregnant women.
Oh, that's
can
very
paint with
good,
their
yeah.
Pets and dogs and cats are safe around it. They use it to paint the stables of horses as well.
Okay, all right. So there are no fumes, no chemicals
and
like
their
that sort.
packaging is earth friendly, and everything about them struck the right chord. So I went with a brand like Gver Chic. I went with a brand like Klingon brushes, which are the average artist uses brushes made out of animal bristle. Quite often it's hog hair, which is that thick brush that people use. And I'm cruelty free. I couldn't imagine the idea
Some animal
of
sacrificing
a
their
byproduct of that industry. So I found an artist from a Dutch artist who makes synthetic fiber brushes, and because he's an artist making brushes for artists with synthetic and recycled materials, his passion got me. And today his brushes are known worldwide as amongst some of the best in the world. So I went and I started supporting all these brands that cared about things that I cared about, that I want people to care about. It's not just about transforming a coffee table or a couch into something else. It's how you do it. What tools are you using to do it
and
with?
I guess
are you being kind in the process?
And
as well?
supporting the community that provides cruelty products also,
So for me, cruelty free is the biggest of all the things. The reason I do a lot of what I do is so that we continue to live in a world that stays kind.
Exactly. On the material side of things, you've got the paints, you've got the brushes. I was so excited to see that you've got moldings.
We have silicone. So we're the only company, the only business in Dubai that has all of this stuff put together. All of the brands that I stock, you won't find them anywhere else in the country either. So it's all here. You can come up, you can get it from me, or you could.
You can also teach them,
I deliver across the country as well, so people in Abu Dhabi and Ras Al Khaimah get.
I see.
It's not limited. Everything happens in Dubai. otherwise. And people who live outside of Dubai are forced to live very lives that are not very environmentally friendly because
Yeah.
of the lack of choices that
Yeah.
are given to them. And so I make sure that
You're
I
giving
reach
them
out,
options.
and
Yeah.
I teach people how to do it.
Excellent.
It's not just here's a product, go use it.
Yeah, you were telling me before, if anybody's interested to learn, they can just, get in touch with
They
you
can get
and
in touch
yeah.
with me. I mean, I do.
You'll teach
obviously,
them.
I do workshops, but I do a lot of just walk in, ask me your questions,
Mm-hmm.
sit down, and I'll paint something with you.
All
You
right.
know?
Okay.
It's an open door policy.
So just digging deep into the matter, we know that, this is what you do, this is your passion. Let's dig into the heart of the matter. Now, I know that you were telling me about how you hate it when people trash things, and there's this negative connotation that's always attached to acquiring secondhand because people feel like, oh, I'm buying secondhand, that means I'm broke, or I'm buying secondhand, that means that I can't afford anything else. It's for charity, or secondhand is not good enough.
Well,
Yeah.
there is this school of thought where
Mm-hmm.
people do sometimes think that, but then I believe there are people like me as well in this world, and I've been blessed. I have
Mm-hmm.
a beautiful home. I have beautiful things. My children go to a lovely school. My husband and I run our own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And we continue to reuse and recycle and buy secondhand products, not because there's a lack of money in a bank account. The problem is in my bank account. The problem is the world and the environment.
Yeah.
I mean, the environment is going to have a lack somewhere. The world's going to suffer for it, and that is the reason to recycle, not because you do or you don't have a certain amount. It's got nothing to do with your social status.
It's the
everything to
choices
do
that
with,
we make.
do
Yeah.
you care about this world that you
Definitely.
live in? Do you care enough?
Because the wastage is it's so obscene. I was telling you about, how people just throw away their furniture. And, even when you go through these gated communities, sometimes you'd see, I don't know, a sofa set, just
Yeah.
next to a garbage can or something like that. So
The thing is, I can't entirely blame people because sometimes, well, a lot of the time actually, people do stuff unaware. They are not aware of the waste that they're causing. They
Yeah.
don't mean to harm. No one means to be a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
You just
That's
haven't
true.
received that kind of an awareness and education, which is an ongoing
Yeah.
thing. You constantly need people talking about these things. You need to have role models in society
Yeah.
that talk about recycling, that
Definitely.
talk about secondhand, that talk about environmental issues, that talk
Yeah.
about sustainability.
Yeah.
Because if people don't talk about it, other people never hear about it.
Definitely.
And they don't
Yeah.
understand the repercussions of their actions.
Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, one example when we did our Gver operation with our partners, Jebel Ali Resorts Hotel, some time back, and one of our community members has received, a few furniture pieces, which were very nice, which came from the Hatafort Hotel, and one guy was saying, "Why are you ordering all this kachara?" This kacharas and junk. And I was trying to tell him, of course, the Gver community member understood that this is not garbage, but this is the perception of other people. Just because it's secondhand and it has a little bit of scratches, it doesn't mean it's junk.
Do you know what?
Or it's garbage.
I have a whole community of like over 1,000 women around
Yeah.
me, and we all drive past the skips. The skips
Yeah.
are the garbage bins,
Yeah.
the big bins, and we dive past the skips, and we'll actually look to see if there's something we can rescue.
I like that. I like the way that you call it a rescue because it is rescuing it from the landfill.
Yeah.
Some people would feel ashamed and embarrassed, but in fact, you're doing a whole lot of good for the environment when you do this.
A lot of the things that you see around you in my house are rescues.
Mm-hmm.
Rescuing is a big thing for us, whether it's people, animals, or things.
There you go, folks. Rescue a secondhand furniture and an old piece of furniture today from the landfill. This is the key word. I think that's one of my learnings from you today, Muby. Rescue from the landfill, right? Yeah. So we really need to change that mentality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that comes through talking about it. That comes through education and awareness.
Yeah.
It comes with schools doing more about it as
Exactly.
well. Everyone needs to be actively involved. I mean, I remember in my son's school,
Yeah.
they had a field trip, which was to Sustainable City, and it was a lot about the environment. And mind you, these are 6-year-olds,
Mm-hmm.
5 and 6-year-olds. But there were a lot of parents who were upset that why do you have to learn about sustainability at such a young age? Are they even going to understand what sustainability is? And it took a lot of talking and convincing, but those parents eventually understood very quickly why it is important to talk to a 5-year-old about sustainability, about reusing. You know, my little boys will come, and if I'm going to throw something away, they'll be like, Mommy, we can just use that for something else.
Exactly. This is the right mentality to, ingrain in your kids at a young age. It is necessary. It is so alarming the way the world is progressing right now, with all the concerns for climate change and, the huge amount of garbage, everywhere across the world. So everybody's got to do their part.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
So it is really alarming how the world is progressing right now, with all that news. There was a news on CNN that in so many years, climate change is going to be a worldwide catastrophe. I mean, we're going there already, and we're there.
We're at the doorstep.
We're basically there, and that sort of an issue keeps you up at night, and you worry about the future of your kids, and you were talking about teaching your kids about sustainability, and that's the right mindset to be promoting to them. Yeah.
I mean, also my husband, he's taught our little boys. I mean, they're 5 and 6, but for a few years now, he's taught them this keyword, which is buy me, but in a funny way. So each time we walk down supermarkets, toy shops with aisle after aisle of plastic toys. Just plastic everywhere. And the kids have understood, because like all children, they see these bright, colorful little things that they want to buy. Candies that come in little plastic, bright plastic boxes, and you're just going to throw all of that plastic away. So he's taught them this word buy me. So now they walk past it and they go, buy me, buy me. So they know they're being hypnotized by the commercial industry.
All right.
They know that this industry is hypnoptizing them to buy, and stop.
Oh, I love that.
Stop. Reuse. Stop buying.
It's really bringing up smarter kids who understand that they're being played and that they're being marketed to. Yeah.
Completely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Walk into a patisserie, an artisan patisserie, and buy a slab of handmade chocolate. Enjoy even what it represents to you, as opposed to just walking into a shop and picking up another slab of packaged plastic
that you're going to throw away afterwards. Exactly. I love that. I mean, I know that you're into so many other things apart from your, projects when Shabby Meets Chic. You're into gardening and all that. This is how we met. At the Dubai gardening group. Yeah.
I enjoy. Again, it's the same thing. It's sustainability. It's the environment. It's caring about the world.
And appreciating and enjoying these simple things, I guess.
We grow a lot of our food, or we try to grow as much of our food as possible, but it's obviously not very possible in Dubai.
We should be exchanging seeds.
I'll give you some after.
Yeah, excellent. So really, I mean, it's a whole big message, and I think people need to understand, again, just repeating the messages that we were talking about earlier. There is life in these old furnitures. Do not throw things away. There's always a way of reinventing and transforming them into something beautiful.
It's like us as people, right? We go through our lives making mistakes.
Yeah.
And we give ourselves second chances, third chances, fourth chances.
That's true.
We transform. We always have hope of becoming a better person tomorrow.
Yeah.
So why are we not extending that to the world around us? Why are only we entitled to a second chance and not everything else?
You were talking earlier about, one person that you met who was saying something about, I cannot justify paying a high price for something that is old. Can you tell us about that? Because I found that story so amusing.
Yes, this was a very, very long time ago. I was very new to what I was doing. I was transforming furniture, and at the time I was selling it. And there was a woman who she really wanted to buy something that I had transformed. But the problem was her husband, and she said, I love what you do, but unfortunately my husband can't justify paying this kind of money for old wood. And I'm like, what do you mean by old wood? She's like, well, the wood is old. And I was like, so what is new wood? Like a seed, a plant, a tree? This tree is already dead by the time it comes to a shop.
Yeah,
It's paid its price. At least honor it.
exactly.
By not
Yeah.
throwing it away.
Yeah, I think we really need to change our mentality, in that sense. It's not about old or new. It's
There is.
about also how much effort was put into that, how much love was put into that, the artistic value or whatever. It's not just because it's new or it's old.
Sure, then that's the other layer. That's
Yeah.
another layer where art comes into it.
Mm-hmm.
And there you don't have any prices. You don't put a price on
Definitely,
art
yeah.
at this moment. But so that's the art side of it. But just otherwise, just all furniture is old wood. It'll always be old wood.
Exactly.
Wood is not new.
Unless it's a seed.
Wood has grown over years and years.
Exactly. So, does one need to be an artist to transform secondhand furniture into something chic like you're doing? Do they need to be an artist
The
or?
artist is subjective.
Yeah.
I think we all have an artist inside
Mhm.
of us, and I can't imagine anyone living and breathing that doesn't have an
Mhm.
element of an artist in
Yeah.
them. We all have this passionate flair for things. We
Mhm.
love, we care, we feel about things, and as long as we feel, we have art alive in us. So of course we are an artist. You
Yeah.
don't need to be a trained artist
Mhm.
to do it, to transform. You just need to care enough.
And I love your approach because you were showing us how you would paint a chair earlier. And I love how brave you are because you just get into it and without any set design in your head. Because maybe I'm a type A personality and I'm like, I'll draw it first and I'll make sure that I'm doing it properly, but you just go for it. And
Well, yeah, I mean, look,
that's very liberating, I guess, yeah?
for me, life comes with no rules. I make up the rules as I go along, and if I don't like it, I do it all over. It has to feel
I love
right.
that.
If it feels right, I'll go with it.
Yeah,
If I
and
don't-
I guess you learn about it more, you educate yourself more in the
along
process,
way,
you
I learn
discover a
along-
lot of things,
I
yeah?
learn along the way, and I'm passionate.
Yeah.
And it's not only painting furniture, it's not only art or gardening or anything it is, as long as you're passionate about something, it doesn't matter how much or how little you're bound to excel, you're bound to learn, and you're bound to know more and more because your passion will drive you to perfection.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm a perfectionist. I may not care about rules, but I am so much of a perfectionist. But that comes out of my passion for it.
Yeah, I like the way you combine that, the utter, you know, the braveness of it all. But at the same time, the discipline later on to stick with it and like you said, let me just repeat that. So just go on with it, guys. Don't be afraid. Take that brush, put that paint on, and if you don't like it, you can always
Go
rework
back
it,
and
yeah?
redo it from the start. Do it all over again, like you would do in life.
Yeah.
If you fall and you get hurt, or
I
you
love
lose
that.
your job, or a partner walks out on you, you start life all over again, and you do the same with your furniture.
I love that. Second chances.
Second chance.
Maybe even thirds. Who knows?
Yeah.
I love that. I really love the message that you're sharing with us, Muby, today. Do you have any, final words for our audience there on what they should be looking at and, just to inspire them about how they should be viewing life from your lenses?
I think for me the key to a successful life is a kind life. Live a life that's kind and be passionate about what you do. Don't be afraid of doing things that are a little bit different sometimes from what society expects of you. And if that little bit different means rescuing something out of landfill, then do it. Because it's not always bad to be different, but you end up saving lives, you end up saving the planet. And when you save the planet, you save its people, you save its animals. Ultimately, you save yourself. So don't be afraid of going dumpster diving.
Dumpster
as you
diving,
call
yeah.
it. Don't be afraid of reusing. Don't be afraid of saying no to that additional bag of plastic. Like,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to be different, to make the changes. Everyone has their reasons for choosing to be socially aware and environmentally conscious. I do it because of the dog that I've loved, and I used to be a person that didn't care that much. I was one of those people where either way, it wasn't a big deal for me.
Yeah.
You know, that I wasn't aware of what it meant. And one day, this little dog rescued me. And looking into his eyes, I learned he is representative of every creature out there. And my actions and how I treat the planet.
That's very touching, yeah.
My Snickers and every other pet and extended creature out there. So I had to stop a cruel lifestyle. I had to change because I owe it now to my dog, but also to the planet, to all of it, because it's a ripple effect. It starts here, but it continues, and it eventually always comes back to you.
It's a great big circle, and that's that's very heartwarming, Muby. Thank you very much. How can people find you? Where can they get in touch if they want to learn what you're doing? Yeah.
Right. So
perhaps you can invite them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So look, you can find me. I've got a website which is called. You type in www.when Shabby Meets Chic. I guess you could.
I'll share that. Yeah, I'll share that on the post also.
I've got a Facebook page which has the same name, When Shabby Meets Chic. And I run a forum on Facebook called the UAE Furniture Artisans Forum, and this is something that I do as almost like a social responsibility. It's a learners forum. There's no buying, there's no selling. You can't make money off it. You're there to learn. And if anyone has a question, I will answer it. Personally, I teach. I give tutorials for free. That's where I extend what I do and invite people to come in and to join my world.
Definitely. So thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And for all you people out there, please rescue a piece of furniture today. Whether you're dumpster diving or you're doing that through Gver, please join our community at www.gver.net, where you can give away stuff that you don't need for other people who might need it. So please do join us. All of the stuff on Gver is for free. You only have to pay for delivery. Please help us in widening this community, because it's great if we can reuse and recycle and, save together for the better.
Absolutely.
And do our bit for Mother Earth, because we only have one. We only have one Earth.
Only one planet.
Exactly. So hope to see you again, guys, and thank you for joining us. Muby, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.